Before I get into the real meat of the video, which is the recap of year 1 of hopefully many of the Anime Culture Corner and the Q&A from all of my subscribers, I have a couple announcements to make. First and foremost, I made a Discord. If you want to pop in, ask questions, chat with me or each other, just build more of a community, come on in. I also made a Twitter, which, though it's been in the channel header for a while now, I've never actually made any tweets or done anything on it. So follow that if you want more frequent updates about the channel or just my more explicit or rant-like thoughts on things that I wouldn't post in the YouTube community posts. The link to both of those is in the video description and the channel header, so make sure to check them out. And now onto the short recap of the first year of the Anime Culture Corner. If you want to skip right to the Q&A, feel free to do so. I put the time code right here, but if not, enjoy my little summary of the past year. So, it's been a whole year. 100 whole videos later, hours upon hours of editing and planning, and the channel has surpassed just about any possible milestone I set for myself at the beginning of last year. At the beginning of 2021, I set a goal of reaching 3,000 subscribers by the 1-year mark, which might seem kind of absurd to you all watching considering, well, we're 5 times that now, but at that point in time, 8 months ago, 3,000 almost felt like a stretch. Even though I started the channel last August, when 2021 first started, 4 months into making YouTube videos, I only had 323 subscribers. This channel from the start has never really been one blessed by the YouTube algorithm, and it's really tough a lot of the time to see other channels getting way more views than me just because they are. And not to say their content is bad or mine is better, but with the exception of a few solid videos, I'm only now, after 1 whole year, starting to even crack the algorithm and get consistently recommended. For I think the first 4 or 5 months of the channel, I started off by posting my videos on Reddit and my personal Instagram, just trying by any means to get recognition. And the times that I have cracked the YouTube code have been totally unpredictable as well. My 2 most viral videos are absolute polar opposites. One is a video joking about the best waifu, while the other is a serious, real-life issue about mangakas. Ironically though, in both videos I mispronounced the most used word in the video, being peak and mangaka respectively. Maybe that's the key to going viral, just saying everything incorrectly. But I think the most important thing now is that I think I'm finally putting out content that I really enjoy. For a while I was just following what was viral, like Attack on Titan or what I could put on TikTok, because otherwise my videos just wouldn't get recommended by YouTube. But now I can consistently put out the kind of content I enjoy as well, which I'm grateful for, and I think, or hope, it's the same for you guys. I was always thinking, probably until February, 6 months into making videos, that I just have to make content that people will be attracted to and bide my time until I had fans to actually create content that I enjoyed as well. And I'm happy to finally be at that point where I have that creative freedom. The other day I hit not only 15,000 subscribers, but the mangaka video hit 500,000 views, both of which are unreal possibilities that I never even imagined I could ever achieve, let alone within the first year. So regardless of whenever you joined, probably the past 4 or 5 months for most of you, I'm glad you're here. Here's to hoping we crack the algorithm a bit more in the next year. And now on to the Q&A. I think I got every question, but sorry if I didn't. And I'll start with the most liked question, which I did not expect. What should we call you when asking something? I think ACC is the best one for now. I don't think I want to reveal my actual name at this point, but if the channel ever gets big enough and I continue to get closer to you guys, the subscribers, I'm sure I'll end up revealing my name, maybe even my face. But ACC for now, I think. It's pretty catchy, in my opinion, and I like it, so. Or if you want to comment any recommendations, I'm all ears. What is an anime or manga recommendation someone has given you that you feel the most thankful for? One that I probably would have missed out on if they hadn't told me about it. This is a tough question because through my time of watching anime, there's been few shows that people have recommended that I didn't already plan on watching, or that I wasn't willing to watch. So I don't think I necessarily would have missed out on watching any anime if I weren't told about it, since I find most shows I enjoy on my own. But if I had to say one, it would probably be Bunny Girl Senpai. I was always pretty skeptical about it just from its initial thumbnail image, but it's definitely one of the more creative and touching romance slice-of-life shows I've ever seen after being told to see it by a friend. Give it a watch if you haven't, the movie is absolutely a work of art. What's the most impactful thing you've watched or one that you revisit? I feel like in terms of impact on me as a human, it's Mushishi. After finishing Mushishi, it's almost like you've had the journey of not just one lifetime, but multiple in one show. The ideas proposed, the stories it weaves are just all absolutely beautiful. I remember a really long time ago seeing ProZD's top 5 anime, and Mushishi was one of the ones on there. And at the time it was on Netflix too, so I saw it all the time. Mind you, this was probably like 2014. But I never got around to it until years later, and I was eternally grateful I did. But I haven't ever rewatched Mushishi, so to answer the latter question, one that I revisit, it's probably Steins Gate or Inuyashiki. I always recommend Steins Gate to people because it's my favorite anime, and anytime someone wants to watch a short but really good dark anime and binge watch it together, I always recommend Inuyashiki. I only ever rewatch anime with friends, so I think I've watched both of those like 4 times each. Who would you want to collab with? From the very start of the channel, one YouTuber I always looked up to was Sufferance. If you don't know him, check out his content, it's amazing. I love his aesthetic, his style, and his devotion to it, as well as just his videos in general. So that would be amazing. But I also love Kyle Robes. I see our styles reflected in each other's videos. And from what I'm aware, he actually makes all of the music in his videos, which is awesome. Like, that is insanely cool, something I never could do. And of course there are big names like Scamboli that are just a dream to ever talk to, so I'm thinking realistic for now. I don't know many AniTubers honestly, so drop a comment actually who you could see being a possible collab partner. I'd love to check out their videos and see if it's something worth pursuing. What got me into anime and manga, and what is the main inspiration for starting the channel? The reason I got into anime and manga is pretty typical. I grew up totally engrossed in shows like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and it just naturally happened at some point, once I had my own iPad and could watch anime on Netflix by myself in middle school. Now, you could say I started the channel just because I was bored. It was quarantine, I wanted something to do, but the real story behind it was that I watched an anime TikTok, which you might know I almost always despise, and I just saw comments under it that made me absolutely blow my fuse. Things like, Samurai Champloo is underrated, which I see way too often for a show that is literally top 100 most popular anime on my anime list. Or how Monster is a hidden gem, when, again, it's always at the top of any list about the best psychological or mystery anime. And so I started the channel in the hopes that maybe I could help these kinds of lost fans who are just kind of coming in with the worst hot takes ever, probably just because they don't know any better. I wanted to just be one more voice on YouTube helping new anime fans learn about the genre and the vastness of it, put what I've watched to good use, and to stop the comments about Samurai Champloo being underrated. Seriously guys, it's not. Alright, let's run through some quick questions here. Biggest sleeper hit in anime? I would have said Inuyashiki or Link Click, but Scampolii actually just popularized both of them recently, unfortunately, so probably Kaiji Ultimate Survivor or 91 Days. Do you think you'll get tired of watching and reading anime and manga? Yes, definitely. Hopefully not soon though. How much Japanese can you speak or understand just by watching anime? Not a lot, but I do take Japanese classes for school, so hopefully I'll be fluent in a couple years and I won't mispronounce mangaka again. Most overrated anime or manga? Your Name or Angel Beats. Favorite Berserk arc? I mean, it's just gotta be Golden Age. First anime and manga I watched and read, and favorite characters. First anime I watched, aside from childhood shows, was Death Note, I think. First manga was Gangsta, actually. It was the first anime that made me want to read the manga afterwards. And favorite characters can all be found in my anime list profile, which is linked in both the video description and the channel header. Anime that need a remake. Obvious choices like Berserk and Tokyo Ghoul are the first that come to mind. Most simp form male character? Probably Yang Wenli from Legend of the Galactic Heroes, or Kiritsugu Emiya from Fate Zero. Favorite food? I'd have to say maybe Wiener Schnitzel? I lived in Europe for a couple years and it's probably the #1 thing I'd go back for. Throw it in with some french fries and that's just a god tier meal right there. Or just about any kind of Mexican food, it's always amazing. Favorite quintuplet? I know this might be criminal, like against the Geneva Accords, but I have yet to see the quintessential quintuplets. I apologize. Favorite music? K-pop. Coolest anime I've ever seen? When I think of a cool anime, I think of one that is really stylistically unique and has a concept that stands out, so I'd say the Monogatari series or Mononoke. And the next question, why isn't there a video about Monogatari yet? Which is a good question. Everyone knows I love Senjogahara and the Monogatari series as well, and the reason I have yet to make a video on this, or Gintama, or Space Brothers, or Mushishi for that matter, is because all of them are so good that I want to make sure my videos on them do justice to the show. For this reason, I can probably only foresee making 1 or 2 videos about each on the channel, so it's always been my plan from the start to wait until my fanbase is a bit bigger, to make sure that these videos get the recognition they deserve. It'd be a shame if, just because I only had 1,000 subscribers, a video that I really love about Monogatari doesn't get any views. It's kinda selfish, but at the same time, I want more people to see it and to recognize that the series is good, because I'm not cutting any corners with the video, so I want to make sure that the results reflect that effort as well. So hang on tight, the video will come. Considering those who are new to anime and manga, would you consider making a small series or even a small video on how to get started and some recommendations? I would be interested to make a video on this, but the only problem in my eyes is that my idea of what is a good show for beginners is very old. Because I started watching anime around maybe 2012 or 2013, I don't really know how any anime after that holds up as gateway shows. I would still say basic things like Death Note or the Fate series or Full Metal Alchemist, which were important to getting me into anime. There's shows nowadays like Vinland Saga or Jujutsu Kaisen, which I know are probably among the most highly recommended in like the current age for beginners, that I might not even think of when making the video. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there. I'm old and antiquated, I guess. I feel like many of my videos though are about shows that I do highly recommend, and most of them are spoiler free. So in a way, those are all recommendations on their own. But yeah, maybe someday. I'll just have to figure out the best way to approach it. What do you think about burnout in relation to anime? I think everyone experiences it at some point. Even I have. I still do. In the year before I started the channel, actually, I'd say it was the first year in many that I felt disappointed with the small amount of anime that I was watching. And it was simply because I was burnt out. You watch anime if you still enjoy it. There might be a point where you feel you're over it, and then a show manages to pull you back in. For me, one of the few benefits of going into quarantine for COVID last year was that I rekindled my love for anime, after finally watching amazing shows like the Monogatari series and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. But even now, I can barely binge watch anime. It's just insanely difficult for me, even though it was easy as breathing back when I was in high school. So yeah, I think it's inevitable. Top 10 anime? To be revealed at a later date on more important videos. What are some upcoming anime that you would recommend? Aside from those big names like Demon Slayer Season 2 or Chainsaw Man, Platinum End, Blue Period, and JoJo Stone Ocean are probably the ones I'm looking forward to the most. What do you think about anime fans who get easily triggered by non-Japanese animation being called anime? I think it's kinda immature. Some people don't know where anime is from or the specifics of it, so to get mad just from it being compared to something else is kinda stupid in my eyes. Just watch anime and be happy with it. Opinion on anime and manga piracy. This is a tough question because, being completely honest, I have watched anime and read manga on outside sources, let's call them, many times and over many years. I don't feel good about it, and nowadays I do try as much as possible to read on official sites or from places like Crunchyroll. I make accounts, I make sure to pay my dues. So I don't feel justified to preach honesty and legalities to someone, not just because I've done it before, but because some people just can't do it either. Some people don't have access to legal sources or can't pay for them, and I'm not going to scrutinize them for pursuing their passions just because they can't find the morally right way to do it. So yeah, it's a blurry line. I don't feel right to impose my sense of justice. Anime that I watched but preferred the manga. There's very few anime where I read the manga before the anime came out, but the first I think of is JoJo Part 5. I don't know why. I know it's known as one of the best adaptations of the manga directly, but for some reason I felt more entranced by its manga than the anime. And also, no, I have not played anime games, actually. Thoughts on Netflix animation and Yasuke? I'm not really versed in cultural appropriation, but I don't think there's any way Yasuke will reach the levels of Afro Samurai in terms of popularity. I've only heard pretty poor reviews of it, after all. And about Netflix, I mean, it's a shame they're whipping out really terrible adaptations one after another, but I'm not too bothered by it at this point. They don't handle a lot of big names. The only one I can think of right now is Record of Ragnarok, but if they do start ruining bigger titles in the future, then yeah, it'll become a problem. And yes, I think Netflix original animation can be called anime. As I said earlier, I don't really care what people call anime or non-anime. And lastly, what type of content do you have in mind for the future? You'll see. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but I consistently try to make my content better, be it improve my writing or my editing, so definitely don't expect me to get complacent. Which is a nice way to wrap up this video, I think. If you've made it this whole way, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope to continue to make interesting videos for you in the future. That will be either thought-provoking, or funny, or relevant, or whatever you guys want. I will always push myself to become better, and I look forward to my 2-year video. As always, this has been the Anime Culture Corner. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future in-depth show, manga, and character analyses.